the podcast where we talk about all things geek and anything else we feel like. I'm Chris, aka Captain Cowabunga, dude.
What's up, guys? I am Steve, the Samurai, Newport. It's great to see you guys. I hope everybody's having fun, fellow geeks.
Oh, the samurai.
Oh, that's it. You got to sneak in it. The green samurai, see.
Oh, yeah.
Certified.
Yeah, certified. Man,
Cowabunga, dude. Now that's
Cowabunga.
I wonder if anybody can guess what the theme of this episode is going to be.
Gee, I wonder. Could it be the Green Machine?
Oh. I think it could be one of the most exciting and energetic and most random franchises to ever be created, right?
Yeah. It's interesting because, so many people actually, there's a lot of people that associate Ninja Turtles with being a 90s show, when in reality, it actually started, I believe, in 1980.
Exactly. The animated series started in the 1980s, and the comics go back even further than that in the early 80s. So it's actually,
that's true.
It was a brainchild of the 80s for sure. So it was me being a Power Ranger kid. I specifically remember when the Power Rangers kind of came along and dethroned the Ninja Turtles in my personal life, but that's only because of my exact age at exactly that time. Ninja Turtles were the king, and Cash was king back then when it came to that stuff. It was the first franchise that I specifically remember having merchandise, and even though I own all the Power Ranger memorabilia in the world now, it's the Ninja Turtles that got it all going, There he is, yeah. This is actually from YouTube's made this little guy, and the only reason I promote him by name is because they helped sponsor some of our convention stuff and gave a bunch of these to us to give away as prizes at a convention once, and it was so cool of them to get him out there. And so I love this little guy.
So cool. I love it. It's so cute.
Yeah. Raphael was always my favorite as a kid too, for some reason. I didn't really have a reason, but he was my favorite as a kid. Who was yours?
So what's funny is when I was younger, I was more of a Leonardo fan, just because I like the leadership aspect and everything like that. But as I've gotten older, I've actually really come to appreciate Michelangelo.
Man, that's pretty cool. I love Michelangelo, but you gotta love them all though, right?
Oh yeah, I love all of them. I mean, I feel like there's a little of each one in each of us. Like, I'm snarky like Raph sometimes. Sometimes I'm a Poindexter like Donatello, and I do like to have fun like Michelangelo.
It's perfect, and I think that kind of makes sense. Each element of the personalities from the Turtles would be well-rounded enough into one of us, so that it does seem to make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Now, I grew up really along the heyday of Ninja Turtles. Like, I had so many Ninja Turtle toys, including the blimp. Oh man,
the blimp. Oh, see, they were so much with the merchandising, like more than the animated series and more than the movies. I remember the Toys R Us aisles, and I remember the action figures and the art and the decorations of all of this franchise. And I was gonna ask, do you remember your first experience with Turtles when you first got into them? Your first toy or your first episode or what have you?
So what I remember from my first time doing, or my first introduction to Ninja Turtles, was basically just being a kid, and I was flipping through the channels, and then all of a sudden I hear this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. Oh wait, pizza. Okay, yes. This is cool. And
I gotta say too, there is something about that pizza that oozes off of their hands.
Yeah.
When they pick it up. It's like there's no base to it. It's just they're picking up cheese,
Yeah, I mean,
it sold me. That sold me on it.
And the funny thing is there wasn't even really a connection with pizza in the comics, but when they brought them onto the television screen, that connection with pizza, I just feel like that was just magical. Like that was that extra thing.
It perfectly hit. It was the one missing ingredient that it was going to take to have kids fall in love with this weird thing. And what a neat creation. You put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a lot of elements going on. There's a sci-fi element. They're mutants. They've changed. They're turtles. That's weird, but it's cool. They're ninjas because of course they are.
Yeah. And yeah, so I enjoyed that. And then I really got into it when the first Ninja Turtles movie came out.
The live action, absolutely. I was gonna say I know that as a kid, I was only 3 years old when the animated series started and 4 years old when the movie came out. But they were, I remember that as the childhood thing was the movie. It was the live action. You remember that. And then the second one, of course, as well.
Oh, the second one was totally my jam.
That was it there. Yeah, those were hitting around that time period. And that's what I remember first getting into it. And then the cartoon would play, but I was only 3 years old. It wasn't much of a it was developmental, yes, but it wasn't like, it was the cartoon that was on. It wasn't the show that like I would fall into and choose at like a 6-year-old level, perhaps. And
Yeah.
that would happen later with another show. But everything about the Ninja Turtles brand and everything about what it was, of course, it was all created for marketing, but it worked. This was a
Yeah, it
cartoon.
did.
Yeah, it was the weirdest, and you would probably have so many weird knockoffs because everybody would try to get the next best thing, like, you know, biker mice from Mars or whatever,
Mhm.
you know. But, you know, often imitated, never improved upon. We're the Ninja Turtles when it came to that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, I even have like 2 of the Burger King VHS tapes.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
really awesome.
I remember bugging my dad about that. And then they went through so many like iterations and changes and stuff. I had the soundtrack from the Ninja Turtles rock band Out of Their Shells tour.
Out of Their Shells tour.
Oh, it was so good.
That is the coolest stuff. And that's what it. And one thing I found like later in life was like through conventions, just like any other thing, the Turtles have its millions of fans, but the way that they have impacted the world is no less than any other major franchise. In
That's
fact,
true.
more so than many that I have noticed. Like, people really resonate with a Turtle. The movies got them through something serious, or maybe they were that thing in their childhood that they really fell for. But among all the franchises I've been around, Turtles has probably affected its fandom the most, at least. But no, that wouldn't be true. I mean, it's the most evident when you see the fans. The passion is there the most, but it's there in every other franchise too. But it's a passion that's mixed with a convention pop culture thing. I think everybody is exactly the right age to have been in that generation of Turtles, like around our age, maybe a few years older even, whereas some of the Power Rangers would be around our age and a few years younger even.
Not to mention the fact that even the voice actors are just so iconic from like the TV series. I mean,
Rob Paulson in there.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
animated series, who was everything, and he's on Animaniacs and everything.
Mhm.
James Avery was the voice of Shredder. You know,
Mhm.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He would go on to. I mean, crazy stuff.
Yeah, and then even the movies, you know, Ernie Reyes Jr. We had like incredible people, and you know, you actually have gotten to have an experience where you got to know these individuals and some of the voice actors closer than anybody else, and a lot of the people behind the scenes of like the 90s movies and things like that, and also gotten to know like a lot more about the fandom through the convention circuit. You want to talk about that a little bit?
It's so true, and I'm so lucky to be part of that. Like, I was doing a convention, and I got lucky enough to get to work with some Turtle people, and those Turtle people I was lucky enough to continue working with over the course of time from that. Brian Tochi and Ken Scott, along with Ernie Reyes Jr., Francois Chau, Robbie Rist, and Judith Hogue, we would all travel around as a group called Turtle Celebration. It's a fantastic block party, and whereas most conventions are always going to have that section where there's a zone going on, this is all Turtles, and we've got obviously lines. There's going to be lines everywhere because that's what a convention unfortunately has. You see that, you run into that. So we
It's kind of like a theme park.
Exactly. We've turned our lines into party scenes as best we can. We've got the movie playing. We've got trivia going on. I've usually got some prizes to pass out and give away.
So cool.
Some of our friendly sponsors. We have been lucky enough to partner with some different pizza places around the cities. So we'll do some Turtle trivia, pass out some pizza coupons. It's been a wonderful time. And the number one thing that I can say that I provided to those celebrations was not the panels, because that is what I love to do. I'm a panel host, and I am if I could be the next Jimmy Fallon, I would love that. But more than that, I like to have those conversations and liaise between fan and celebrity. But at these shows, what I get to bring is a passage of time. And that's a very unique thing, because it's like, if you stand in line for 3 hours at a convention or more, that's a terrible day under most circumstances. You're ready to leave the room afterwards, not go back and find somebody and say, hey, thank you for making this so fun today. And that's what I would get. And that's what I got in Dallas. That's what I got in Phoenix. That's what I get anytime I'm with the cast of TMNT, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I'm very, very lucky that Ken and Brian asked me to be part of that. But just getting to talk to these guys, just getting to see what makes the fans love them, has brought my love of the Ninja Turtles up from, let's pretend it was a 5 instead of lower than that, to all the way up there next to the Power Rangers at, 9 or 10. And Star Trek would be 1 or 2 above that, perhaps, If
Yeah.
10 if 10 is the pinnacle, if 10 has to be the top. If 10 is the top, Star Trek is there.
Yeah.
And then I'll put the 9 with the Rangers, but this has to be up there now, like with 8 or 9, you know?
Yeah,
It's cool.
that's pretty amazing. And for those that don't know, Brian Tochi, not just the voice of Leonardo, but I mean, he was in Revenge of the
Oh,
Nerds.
amazing actor. Yeah, definitely. Police Academy movies.
Yes.
He's one of those actors that if you've heard the name or you're listening to this and you think, oh, I think I know that name, when you look him up, you will know who he is. You'll see his picture and be like, yes, that's who that is. That's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's just absolutely amazing. Francois Chau, the first thing that I remember him from.
Lost.
Yeah, well, even with that, like, I remember him from a video game series called Wing Commander. And
Oh, wow. Yes.
yeah, like I mentioned that to him at Ranger Stop and Pop 2020, and it was so cool. And talking to him about like how that worked versus everything else, and it's really cool. He's a really great guy, and it's really interesting. Like the more that you get to know these guys or these people, these actors, the more it really does connect you to the franchise that they're a part of, because they really put a lot of themselves into those roles.
It's absolutely true and accurate, and you can see it with their love of interacting with the fans. To talk about Francois again, like I'm not at all surprised he wanted to have that conversation with you. The very first time I got to meet Francois Chau was at a convention in Atlanta, and there was not a lot of time for everyone to answer the questions because the panel had a ton of people on it, and they wanted us to play a game before we had a panel, and so we did that, and it was great. It was tongue in cheek. That was not against anybody, but there was a game and we played it, and then we did the panel. And I had talked to Francois just a little bit, and I briefly mentioned that he was on Criminal Minds, and I didn't get a chance to ask him a question about it. But that was just near the end of the thing. When the panel was all said and done, he stayed behind and was like, "Steve, if you have a minute, would you like to talk about Criminal Minds?"
That's
it was
awesome.
A really neat role. And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to hear about it." And little did I get to know that we'd get to become friends. You know, I'm actually planning to mail him a Christmas card. You know, him and his
that's
guy,
awesome.
wonderful guy. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just I got lucky to get involved with that sort of stuff. I don't take it for granted. I try not to take it for granted because there were so many people who would, I'm sure, love to get to do the things I get to do. I'm really happy to get to do them.
So you mentioned that you know you guys partnered with pizza companies and different things like that. As you've traveled around with this celebration, what would you consider true ninja pizza? Pizza that vanished quickly without trace.
Pizza that vanished quickly without a trace. Oh my gosh! You know, we've had Ken Scott actually is the big reason that we do pizza so much. He's a pizza connoisseur, but who isn't?
Oh.
But in every city, he likes to try a new, like whether it's brick oven or whatever is that one of that city's better restaurants' signature pizzas, and he'll find one that's within a radius of the con, and we'll make it happen. And so far, no regrets at all. It's always been great. I got to try anchovies for the first time on one in Phoenix, and I really enjoyed it. It's not something I wouldn't order it all the time, folks, but it was very, very good. So when you get to try stuff like that, it's cool. But as far as what I think the Turtles would say, what I would say, the cheesier the better, the gooier the better. It's just like in the opening credits of the Ninja Turtles. That would be a true ninja pizza for me, is like you pick it up. Maybe do like the Ninja Spin too, though.
Yeah,
Ninja Spin, that's getting into Power Rangers again.
So what was your personal favorite out of all of those? Or do you not want to mention like a specific restaurant?
I will tell you the kind of pizza that was my favorite.
Okay, that yeah,
It
good.
was it was a brick oven pizza that had pepperoni and spinach on it, and it was really good. And it had it was in Phoenix, I'll tell you that. But that's all I'll tell you. It was really good.
Yeah, all right. So my
I don't want to say anything. I don't know. I don't even, to be honest, I don't even remember the name of the company.
that's cool.
It was really good though.
So I haven't traveled around and had as many different styles. I haven't been as lucky, but my personal favorite
Not yet.
is a hot honey pepperoni. It has, of course, pepperoni with, it has these jalapenos that have been soaked in balsamic vinegar, and then cut up basil with a drizzle of hot honey on top.
See, now that's sounding good. Where do you get that? Do you get it from a place? Do you make that?
Yeah, there's a place that I get it from, which
that
when you come to visit, we'll have to go.
I want to try it. I'm looking forward to trying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my favorite is, I'm all about any type of pepperoni or old world pepperoni, the honey drizzle. That all sounds delicious. I want to try it all.
My son is all about pepperoni pizza, just not the hot honey pepperoni.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's a totally different animal, isn't it?
Yeah. He's like, too spicy.
He'll grow into it, perhaps.
Yeah, so since you're for someone that has like kind of grown into the Ninja Turtle fandom a little bit, what is it about the franchise that what is it about the franchise that you connect with the most?
I think for me, truly what I think I connect with the most with this franchise is what it means to the people who love it. And I know that's a really weird, it's not a turtle answer, and I have a turtle answer for in a minute, but the first and foremost answer is very similar to what the answer for the Power Rangers would be. It is the life-changing impact it has had on people by being an escape and being a source of positive teamwork in a world that doesn't always show it to them, or for a reason they might not have always had it. Now that's the reason for that. For me with the Turtles, in the in-universe reasons, it's got to be a mixture of, for me, it's the 1990s movies. The 90s movies are the Turtles. For me, there's a bunch of Turtles, and there's a bunch of great Turtles franchises, but it's the mixture of the Jim Henson puppeteering, the voice acting, the stunt acting by great guys like Ken Scott and Ernie Reyes Jr., and dozens of other amazing stunt people. That's what it is for me. It's the music even of that era. That's what makes that quintessential Ninja Turtles to me pop and stick out, is because there's nothing like it.
Yeah, that's true. And with my son, I went to see the Mutant Mayhem movie, and I was sitting there thinking that I wasn't going to enjoy it. But I actually ended up really liking it. Like, the animation style didn't really attract me that much, but it actually, for me, helped tell the story, and the story was really engaging, and there was a lot of heart to it, and I was really pleasantly surprised. So it was really cool to me to see that there's like really good modern storytelling outside of IDW's Ninja Turtle comics.
I think that's a really good point. I did see Mutant Mayhem finally on streaming once it hit over there, and I was didn't have any expectations. I just wanted to watch it so I could see the modern Ninja Turtles take, and I did another convention that had some other Turtle actors at it from, not even from that, but from the Tooth animated series. So I was like, well, let's catch the newest thing. I want to be up to date on the Turtles. Expecting just to like sit and see it. I was engaged in it. I really enjoyed it. The humor was good for all ages. The voices were cute. It was a totally different take than the two that I had watched in the 90s.
Yeah.
But it was a totally new generation's thing. And I thought that it actually worked a lot better than I would have expected, to be honest. I'm sure there have been hit or miss Turtle franchises over the years.
Yeah.
There were some movies that just didn't make it for me. The Michael Bay, that wasn't Turtles for me. I didn't love it. The Tooth animated series, I didn't really watch it, but it had some great people on it that I met at an event not too long ago. But other than that, I didn't have too much attachment to that version of the Turtles.
So why don't you tell us about the interactions that you had with the Tooth voice actors?
Those guys were really awesome to talk to, because we had the opportunity to just have a voice panel. It was the three of them, Mark Thompson being one of them, and it was just a lot of fun to get to hear their perspective from the Ninja Turtle world, because their series was not one that was originally popular, but that was still out there. So when they went in, it was pretty cool, because they knew what the basis foundation for their characters was. So they actually said that they did a percentage of their audition as a sound-alike, and a percentage of it trying to be something totally different, because they had no idea what the studio was going to want. And ultimately they went with a sort of mix in between, I guess, with the guys that they ended up choosing. And but I guess that was interesting for them. It would have been interesting to get some of those voice actors and, say, like movie voice actors like Robbie Rist together in the same panel. It would be neat to compare and contrast what the experiences are like, and maybe somebody from the '89 animated series too. I think that'd be fun, like somebody from each voice acting session, to see what it was like.
Man,
see what's changed.
If we could get Rob Paulson on stage with everybody else, that would just be crazy.
He's one of those voice actors I've always wanted to meet. One of those, well, I say voice actor, one of those actors that I've always wanted to meet. He's had that voice of, I think it was when I first heard him sing the Country's song on Animaniac. Then I'm like, oh, this is the guy right here.
Yeah, Yakko Warner. Oh my goodness.
Classic Yakko.
Yeah.
But yeah, to think about how the Turtles have evolved and changed over the years, and how there are many different iterations, it's pretty cool that, I guess, you know how they say every generation has XYZ thing? Well, in kids' terms, a generation is whoever the kids are that are between 5 and 9 for this block of time. It's not really a generation so much as it is, you can rehash the Ninja Turtles every couple of years, because in theory, you're not supposed to be the same people watching it. It's like, you're supposed to graduate out of Well, I never say supposed to, but these are your 3 to 7 shows, and then you grow up and watch NCIS. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, it is interesting how everybody has their genre of turtles and of what they connect with. And even now, though, it's cool that they have even Ninja Turtles for different ages. The Mutant Mayhem for like the families, but also like the kids, as well as like the TV show that just recently ended. And then on top of that, having in the comics like The Last Ronin.
Absolutely. And I was going to ask you about The Last Ronin, and if you actually have. I have not caught up with that at all, but a lot of fans are always interested in that. They always want to.
I wish I had, man. I wish I had.
And that's where I'm at. I'm like, I'm not up to date on it, but I know that it's something that means a lot to a lot of fans right now.
Oh.
And I would love it. It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's really cool, though, is that it's so big that they're actually making like a AAA game of it. Like,
that's fantastic.
That's exciting. And if it's anything like some of the supposed test footage that I've seen, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal, unlike anything that we've ever seen from the Turtles. And I like a lot of Ninja Turtle games, like the Cowabunga collection, Shredder's Revenge. Like, Shredder's Revenge was so good.
Oh, yes. See, I always love playing the old games, and I especially love when they re-release that collection. It's like, what a great opportunity to get these back. And
right?
Because it's like nostalgia, but they've redone it in a nice enough way that it's good enough to play again,
Yeah, and of course, having those people that are just so faithful to like the original Ninja Turtles arcade games with
yes.
the look, the feel, the soundtrack, and I believe even Wu-Tang made a track for Shredder's Revenge, and
yes,
that was killer, man. Oh, it was so good. So yeah, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about franchises like Ninja Turtles, though. I think there's like something you could do something for all ages, and they really have capitalized on that in ways that I don't think many other franchises have.
I gotta agree with you there. It's one that there are superhero franchises, obviously, that can stick through time, like the Avengers side and the Justice League side. Any of the characters involved in those, they do have certain longevities and reinventions. But I think for something like the Turtles, that was such an odd development and such an amazing little property that doesn't need to be altered and changed because it's so absurd in the first place.
Yeah.
And that you can reinvent it every few years. You can rehash it every couple of times. You can cross it over with the Power Rangers in space. I mean, come on, what a world.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about that yet, when they crossed over with Power Rangers in space.
That's true. Yeah.
That was cool because even Saban had his hand in the Turtles for a minute, and they got a live action go on TV. So I think that Ninja Turtles Next Mutation, though, I think that show, I mean, I'm sure it had its fans too, and I know that like Venus de Milo is in that universe, but I maintain that it would probably be forgotten if it didn't cross over with Power Rangers in space.
That's true. I think that was a smart thing.
The Ninja Turtles, that series. I don't mean the Ninja Turtles as a whole. They
just the Next Mutation. Yeah. But what's really cool though is like, I mean, I really do feel like the highlight of that series was Venus, and apparently everybody else did too because they put her in the comic book series.
That's what I liked. I found out that they put her in that a little bit later, and it made me happy to know that they didn't just forget about her.
Nope, they didn't. Man, this has been a Turtle Power episode.
It was shell shocked, dude.
Eclectic.
Oh man, you guys, it's been a great one. I'm really glad we got to do this, and always remember, wise men say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
So let's go ahead and ask everybody a question. What was your favorite iteration of Ninja Turtles? Was it the comics? Was it them in a video game? Was it the 90s movies, or a particular Ninja Turtles series? And bonus question, what's your favorite pizza? Let us know in the comment section down below. And please,
it's all about, guys. No anchovies, though.
Please make sure to smash that like button. It helps us know that you like the content. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you can know when new episodes are coming, because they are coming. And be ready for the next episode of the Geek Dunn Ryte podcast. Until next time, y'all take it easy. Frere Jacques.